Fall is my favorite time of year to plant perennials here in Colorado. This is the Front Range Gardener, and I'll share 3 reasons why fall is such a great time to plant perennials, and then I will show you step by step how to plant them. Why is fall such a great time to plant perennials? First of all, we are past the heat of summer. Planting on cooler fall days will minimize the chance of transplant shock. Second, the ground is still warm enough for roots to get established before the cold of winter. Third, and maybe best of all, plants are on sale at your local nursery. Let me show you how to plant perennials using step-by-step instructions from my original fall planting video from 5 years ago. I'm going to demonstrate how to plant fall plants in your garden using this beautiful Dark Night Spirea. It's a deciduous perennial, and it's great for the garden because it flowers in August and September, adding color to your late summer garden. The other thing is that hummingbirds, bees, and butterflies all love the flowers of this plant, so it brings some life to your garden as well. The first step in planting a plant is to dig the hole. Now, I had mulch covering this area, so I've already raked that aside. Plants grow their roots mostly in the top 6 inches of the soil. That's where the water comes in the form of rain. That's where the soil is better aerated. So what we want to do is dig a hole that's wider to give more room for the roots to grow, but not necessarily that deep. So we're going to dig a hole that's about 3 times the width of the pot, and then we'll dig it shallowly to a deeper spot, leaving about the top inch of the root ball exposed above the soil. Every soil interface where the soil changes type impedes the flow of water. So by leaving the top inch of the root ball above the soil, we'll be able to water it directly. Okay, it's time to test the depth of my hole. So to get the plant out of the pot, I just like to hold my fingers on the root ball, turn the pot upside down, and the plant should gently slide out of your pot. Okay, that looks pretty good. The top of the root ball is just a little bit above the level of the soil. So we're ready to amend the soil and get back to work. So my soil here is actually pretty lousy. It's very sandy, and sandy soil doesn't hold water. So we're going to want to put some fertilizer in the hole, and then we're also going to put some organic material to help the soil hold moisture. I like to use a starter fertilizer. Now, every fertilizer will be marked with the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium quantities on the package. So this particular one is 12-10-10, meaning 12% nitrogen, 10% phosphorus, 10% potassium. Look for a fertilizer that has the second 2 numbers, like my 12-10-10, and that'll have the nutrients the plant needs to be able to establish strong roots. So I like to sprinkle a little bit in the hole, and then a little bit on the soil that I'm going to backfill with. To improve the quality of the soil and to improve the moisture retention, I'm going to add some organic soil amendment. There are lots of different kinds available, but the point is any organic material will improve the moisture retention of the soil. So I'm going to add it to the backfill dirt. One of the consequences of growing plants in pots is that the roots can become root bound in the pot, and they can go in circles, and they can even get to the point where they encircle and suffocate the plant. So before we put it in the ground, we want to score the root system, and the cuts will encourage the roots to grow outwards versus in a circle. I'm just using a utility knife, just trying to break up some of the excess roots in this plant. And even if I just pull this completely off, now the roots that are left here are able to grow in the direction we want. All right, let's place our plant in the hole, and then let's backfill with the soil and amendment mixture to about halfway. All right, we have the hole about halfway backfilled with the soil and amendment, and let's water it in. We'll water it in to compact the soil that we've backfilled in. If we were to stomp on it, we might compress the soil too much and squeeze out all of the air. And the plants need air in the soil to be able to grow. So I watered it in, and let's fill it up the rest of the way. I've got it backfilled in. I'm going to rake just to have a better, more even distribution. I have my top of the root ball is accessible so I can water it directly. And now I have the soil where I want it. I'll do another watering to compact this soil I just added. Now the plant's in the ground. Now the most important thing I can do for my new plant is to keep it properly watered. I have a bunch more planting to do, so I'll come back in a couple of days and I'm going to add drip irrigation to this plant. And that'll keep it well hydrated until I shut off my sprinkler system in mid to late October. After that, it's still important to keep the plant watered. October, November, December can be really dry in Colorado. So I will want to look at this every week or so and water the plants on a nice sunny day where the temperature is above 40 degrees so that the soil is warm enough to absorb the water. I finished my fall planting and I've run my drip line. So now it's time to hook my spirea up to the drip line and then we'll be finished. All right, let's put a hole in the drip line. Add a little barbed connector. Get out some distribution tubing. Stick that on. And it's cut to length. Add an emitter. I'm using a 1 gallon per hour emitter on the spirea. A little tubing stake to hold it in place. And then I'm going to position the emitter directly over the root ball. Now when I put the mulch back on, I want to make sure that I don't cover the root ball. The root ball can get water directly from the drip irrigation system without having to go through the mulch first. But the rest of the mulch I'll bring up to the level of root ball. Remember, we planted the root ball about 1 inch higher than the surrounding soil. And that's a wrap. How did my planting turn out? Well, behind me are the dark night spirea shrubs that I planted 5 years ago. I think they look great, and the bees absolutely love them. If you want to know which shrubs to plant now that will give you terrific fall colors, watch my video, Colorado Native Shrubs for Amazing Fall Colors. Plant perennials in fall and enjoy many years of happy gardening.